Exactly 1 year ago, I spent the better part of 2024 warning everybody about Project 2025. And here we are today, Trump admitting that he is a part of Project 2025, and he's meeting with the creator, Russell Vought, who was caught back in 2024 leaking that Trump knows about it and he's in on it, even though Trump took the stage and said he knows nothing about it. Here is Trump's post using Project 2025 as a bargaining chip in the government shutdown. He just posted this today, and wait until you see the videos connected to all of this. I have a meeting today with Russ Vought, he of Project 2025 fame, to determine which of many Democrat agencies, most of which are a political scam, he recommends to be cut, and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity. They are not stupid people, so maybe this is the way of wanting to quiet and quickly make America great again. President Donald J. Trump. Trump spent the better part of 2024 telling people he had no idea what Project 2025 was and he had no parts to do with it. However, now many of the creators of Project 2025 are in his cabinet and work for him. They've been guiding him and he's been listening to them this whole time. It's so bad there is officially a Project 2025 tracker and we are 48% of the way done. Part of what was in Project 2025 was getting rid of anti-discrimination laws to weaponize the DOJ. We see that happen with Trump enforcing this against his political adversaries, trying to get people such as Letitia James, Lisa Cook, Adam Schiff, and many more people he doesn't like, and even firing the lawyers that couldn't get them committed anyway, even though they never did anything because they're innocent. Here is Trump lying to Kamala Harris's face saying he has no idea what Project 2025 is after she called him out and said he was in it and knows about it.
Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people that got together. They came up with some ideas, I guess some good, some bad, but it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do.
What a very odd thing for Trump to say when only a couple months later was it revealed that Russ Vought, one of the authors of 2025, was being secretly recorded. And he said Trump knows about this entire thing and that distancing himself from this is all part of the plan as well.
Forced to distance himself.
They're sort of the opposite of the radical left, okay? You have the radical left and you have the radical right. And they come up with this, I don't know what the hell it is, it's Project 25.
Are you ready? I know nothing about Project 25. I haven't seen the document. I don't intend to really see the document.
But behind closed doors, Vought tells us not to take Trump's disavowal seriously.
I expect you to hear 10 more times from the rally, the president, distancing himself from the left's boogeyman of Project 2025.
Yeah. And you're not worried about that?
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
He's running against a brand. He is not running against any people.
Okay.
He is not running against any institutions. It's interesting, he's in fact not even opposing himself to a particular policy.
Yeah.
He's been at our organization, he's raised money for our organization, he's blessed it from the, I remember walking into our last day in office and told him what I was going to do. So he's very supportive of what we do.
So when Trump had his last day in office in 2020, he already told him what he was going to do. How many times do we have to see proof in front of our face that Trump is going to lie to the American public to benefit himself? He can't even own up to what he's doing. And he thought he was slick saying he doesn't know about Project 25, because technically I know about Project 2025 or Project 25. I've never heard of that. Have we ever had such a dishonest president in modern times? This entire guy's life is one big lie. And when you try to tell people that he was a part of it and he was planning to do all these things this entire time, they said he would never do that because he said he didn't. And then when MAGA found out he was part of Project 2025, the brainwashing commenced. Oh, well, it's probably a good thing then. Whole time their daughter's starving, but they haven't noticed because they're mad at the Mexican man across the street. It's actual insanity. Now listen to what Russ Vought has to say about Trump right here. I've been saying this entire time that Trump is not a Christian and he is using Christian nationalism to get more votes for himself because 67% of America, 62% of America identifies as Christian and they're the biggest believers in faith. And Trump preys on people like this because playing to people's desires is what he is a master at. He is the master of manipulation and a circus clown at best in all other areas. But listen to what Russ Vought says about Christians in America.
We've given them the case for that.
With loyalists installed in key government agencies and armed with his playbook, Vought believes a radical Christian nationalist agenda can be realized under a second Trump presidency. For example, on abortion.
So I think the president's actually come up with a strategy that works so long as you are giving people like me in the government the ability to block funding for Planned Parenthood, block funding for fetal tissue research. But what I've told people is he had the most pro-life record ever. I've never seen him to stand in the way of a pro-life initiative that actually was real, politically and with momentum.
And for Vogt, Trump's pick for vice president shows he's serious about pushing this ideological agenda when in power.
So I am very happy with the JD pick. I think it's transformative for sure.
Yeah.
And think of him as a member version of what we do.
Yeah.
So there's no think tank, no policy organization, no battle plan creator other than us for the worldview that I think Donald Trump has and that JD has.
But as public backlash against these plans builds, the Trump campaign has been scrambling to distance themselves from Project 2025's authors.
It's complete and utter bullshit for any reporter to write that this is the way it is. The president's made it clear these people do not speak for him. They do not speak for the campaign.
But Vogt tells us that behind the scenes, things are much friendlier. The Trump campaign recently picked him to write the Republicans' policy platform, making him essentially Project 2025's man on the inside.
I think the best example is like the campaign selected me to be the platform because of their views on my policy ideas, and they're not running from all of the negativity that I get from the press.
I see. So they haven't been spooked on you as a person, you don't think?
No, I mean, I don't think I'm going to be their transition pick because then they have all these kinds of stories.
Yeah.
But no, the relationship is great.
And as we can see, the relationship is absolutely excellent. Trump has been doing everything we've said he's been doing this entire time. This video was published before Trump even won the election. The video we're watching now was posted in August 2024, but I believe it was recorded a lot sooner than that. Russ Vogt has admitted on camera that Trump is pushing an agenda, and he doesn't believe a single word that comes out of his own mouth, and that he's playing to the desires of Americans. I mean, it's clear as day for us, but the fact that he just posted today that he is in fact meeting with Russ Vogt to punish the Democrats for allowing a government shutdown that was actually Trump allowing it brings all of this together. Every single word that came out of Russ Vogt's mouth is a fact. Everything we've been saying since 2024 about Project 2025 is a fact. They said you were fear-mongering, but you weren't fear-mongering. They were fear-mongering about some illegal immigrant threat. MAGA is a cult and Trump plays on their desires. Some of them will watch that video and convince themselves this is a good thing too. They said everything Trump was doing was a joke. Well, how much of a joke is it now? People are posting videos of their grandfathers no longer being able to afford insulin, and they're still not aware they're about to be cut off of their medical programs. If Republicans do not agree to this spending bill, these people are going to lose access to their health care in low-income neighborhoods. I've been saying it's too late, Project 2025, at the end of my video since last year, and while it's not too late yet, we're getting there very quickly. I mean, Trump doesn't even fear impeachment at this point. They basically believe as long as they win the midterms, it's smooth sailing. And remember, this is to benefit the rich and nobody else. We have a bunch of nepotism babies in office, and they want to keep it that way. And even with all this proof of Trump consistently lying since 2024, he comes here and lies again in another post. And people will still read this and believe this with all this information available to them. Wake up. Donald Trump has you in a sunken place. Now let's let Russ Vogt, Trump's own right-hand man, finish exposing him by accident.
The Trump transition team has not yet been appointed, but Vogt says that no matter who is named, he'll be able to hand over his Project 2025 battle plans directly.
If it's someone like a Stephen Miller or Bob Lighthizer, then all this stuff gets plugged right in. If it's not, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
But all of it will be designed for a theory of the case that President, if a battle plan is out there that will do what he wants, there are the people like me that have his trust that will be able to get it to him in whatever position we're at, or I could be at Center for New America, but the relationships will be there, the trust level will be there.
Project 2025's Radical Phase 1 policy book turned into a PR disaster.
The director of Project 2025 has stepped down after facing criticism from both Democrats and the Trump campaign.
But Vogt's Phase 2 battle plans, top secret and handed directly to the transition team, remain unburdened by the brand.
And are you going to rebrand that second phase at all?
For what I do,
yeah,
the brand's not important.
And you're not worried that if it has Project 2025 on, he's going to go
no.
And you're not going to publish those?
No.
They go straight to...
Yeah, they're very, very close hold.
Okay.
Brilliant. It's been an
He seems to have caught on here, and they appear to see that he's caught on, but it's too late because he said too much. You can see it in his eyes.
An education.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Anytime.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
You can show us that out.
Okay.
very much.
Donald Trump has been planning to manipulate this country since he lost in 2020. I mean, this is 5+ years of planning. Don't forget that Project 2025 is over 900 pages long, and they've accomplished 48% of it in under a year. All thanks to MAGA. The people screaming they want to make America great again are actually making America worse than it's ever been. And because of them, we have to deal with these consequences. I mean, when is America going to get sick of the gaslighting, lies, and agendas? How many times does somebody's president have to lie to them for them to realize he is a horrible person? He is the bad guy. He does not have their best interests in mind. I can't believe we have a complete confession on camera from 2024. If someone lied to me 100 times in a row, I would begin to understand that everything else they have to say will more than likely be a lie as well. So how does MAGA still think Trump is their only source of truth? I mean, he's completely ignoring actual real stats. He got on camera right here and said Democrats are the reason for all the political violence in America. And then he said he has big plans for 2026 and he wants to survive. Trump, you're causing the violence in America. They're all MAGA. Somebody just ran over 2 women because he said that they were celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. He ran them over. He was a police chief's son. News said nothing about it. And Trump has the nerve to lie about who is contributing to this violence because he doesn't actually care what happens to these victims. He does not care who is a consequence of his words and actions as long as it's not him. Let's watch this video.
I do have big plans. Yeah, I have big plans. I want to survive. That's one of my big plans. You look at what's going on, it's crazy. You know, the rhetoric that these crazy Democrats are using is very dangerous. They've made politics very dangerous, and you're going to be very happy with the job we're going to do. What they're doing is very dangerous. It's very bad, and there probably hasn't been this kind of intensity, maybe in a long time in this country. And that intensity, that kind of intensity is very bad. They're using rhetoric that's very dangerous. And, you know, you have stupid people doing it, like Crockett. She's a low IQ person. And others that are not smart people. And then you have some smart people doing it, too. And those are the ones you have to be more careful of. So they've got to stop it. They've got to stop it fast.
Notice he calls every black woman he doesn't like a low IQ person. I mean, it's a trend at this point. I don't know why Trump is so threatened by intelligent black women in positions of power, but it's becoming very apparent with him trying to sick the DOJ on Letitia James and Lisa Cook as well, calling for the firing of mayors who all happen to be black. It's a really weird obsession, Trump. You know, they've always said that a superiority complex is often just disguising an inferiority complex because of their own thoughts and feelings towards themselves.
A well-educated black has a tremendous advantage over a well-educated white in terms of the job market. And I think sometimes a black may think that they don't really have the advantage or this or that, but in actuality, today, currently, it's a great, I've said on occasion, even about myself, if I were starting off today, I would love to be a well-educated black because I really believe they do have an actual advantage today.
And don't forget this weird statement from the President of the United States.
Would you rather have the black president or the white president who got 1.7 billion off the price? I think they want the white guy right now.
I mean, this is the same guy that got rid of anti-discrimination laws and DEI who people falsely believe benefited black people the most when it did not at all. And Charlie Kirk said himself, if he sees a black pilot, then he assumes it's DEI, when DEI actually actively works against discrimination for people like Charlie Kirk who would discriminate on a pilot's application because he's black. It's to give qualified people a chance based on their merit, rather than looking at their skin color and being like Charlie Kirk, when the real DEI they were referring to is actually nepotism. And when we look at who's in the White House today, and we see that none of them are qualified for the roles they have, such as the DUI hire Pete Hegseth and the felon of the United States, Donald Trump, it's clear as day, especially when one of them, i.e. Trump, says we've made almost $17 trillion of investment from tariffs as a net positive. Are you out of your mind? But don't take it from me, take it from the man himself.
Because without the tariffs, this country is in serious, serious trouble. We've taken in almost $17 trillion of investment is coming in. Most of it is coming because of tariffs. And if for some reason somebody wanted to be politically correct, I actually think it's unpolitically correct.
Congratulations, America. Donald Trump has single-handedly eliminated U.S. debt in under a year. So all those bills where Trump wanted to raise the debt ceiling of the United States, it was all part of his plan. America is now the richest country in the world. Now nobody has to pay taxes. This guy is out of his freaking mind. I wonder what the farmers who have lost their farms think about this. I'm sure this is fantastic news. They could buy 30 farms with this. I mean, look at this face. Trump is in disbelief at the own words coming out of his. Look at JD Vance. He's like, bro, what are you saying? And even him, he's like, there's no way he just said that. He's like, look at him. He's like, no, you're being very dishonest. And since actions speak louder than words, we can say that without a doubt, Donald Trump is a fraud. The same way Putin deployed his own military on his cities, Donald Trump is now making up lies. It's like he's following Putin's blueprint at this point. Make up lies, deploy the military, make up lies, deploy the military, make up lies, bomb random boats in the ocean and say it was a drug boat. I mean, he copies these dictators word for word, bar for bar. The same exact way he saw Kim Jong-un celebrate his birthday with the military parade, Donald Trump ended up doing the exact same thing. You can't make this up. And then he just lies about his reasons for doing the things he does the same way Putin did when we all know Putin invaded Ukraine. And at first Trump was trying to say Ukraine attacked, but go ahead, Trump. Let's see what you have to say about Chicago.
Now we're going to Memphis and we're going to Chicago. We're going to save Chicago because it has to be saved.
So you are going to Chicago?
Yeah, we're going to Chicago.
Have you settled on a date yet, sir?
Pretty soon.
Who does Chicago have to be saved from Trump? Because if you ask me, Chicago needs to be saved from poverty. So if you would actually like to help Chicago, invest in the same institutions already in place by Chicago's mayor, who has been consistently lowering crime in Chicago year by year, instead of spending $60 million to deploy the National Guard to pick up trash on the sidewalk. Who is that going to save? I think Donald Trump wants civil war to break out. I think he's waiting for the excuse to allow the National Guard to shoot civilians. I mean, we just saw a speech to the military leaders the other day saying if only we could shoot these people, but they're not in uniform. And Pete Hegseth's trying to give them pep talks like he's getting them ready for a war, saying we need to start increasing violence and killing people when we're at war with nobody. And then Trump telling these same military leaders that he plans on sending them to other cities like Chicago and that they're going to be a part of this. But none of those leaders looked impressed because Trump has the respect of nobody. He operates off of making people scared of him. And if he can't make you scared of him, he sends the DOJ after you. Now, Fox News apparently has some hit piece on what they think stupid people do. So let's see what he has to say and see who he's talking about.
With anything. Stupid people, it's been famously said, are more dangerous than evil people. Evil people you can confront, expose, and contain. Stupid people, they don't listen to facts, they don't listen to reason, and oftentimes they don't really succumb to force. And so when you get a stupid person that gets a little confidence, that's the worst. That's the most dangerous. And you have to be very careful around stupid people.
Where do you think you fall in that range?
Where do you think, Terrence?
Remember that every accusation from these people is a confession, because the only stupid person I saw in this video was the guy talking. On the topic of evil, I see right here it says hunting of Latinos, which is exactly what they're doing with ICE. So if he's condemning that, then I guess he's both of the categories he was just explaining in this video so explicitly. And his friends trying to lay it down to him the easy way. I mean, these people are so insane. Apparently, Fox News of all people had Antifa reach out to them. Tell me that this is not a cop or just some random guy with a black bandana. I had no idea Antifa was a white man who looks like an undercover police officer. And why is he wearing a black scarf? Is that to like reference Black Lives Matter? Like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. What is he gonna speak out about? As if this is some legit organization. You know, people just started saying they're Antifa after Trump labeled it a domestic terrorist group. Because Antifa stands for anti-fascist, and no one has ever identified with Antifa. Ever. Somebody else even posted, tomorrow the leader of Antifa speaks. This is freaking hilarious. It seems like a majority of Americans don't buy it anymore. And I feel like a lot of ex-MAGA who did buy it are just not speaking about it because they're severely embarrassed. So the loud minority of MAGA is who we hear from the most. At least that's what I hope. And did you know that Trump's hats were a designer brand now? Yes, these MAGA hats are going for $55. I mean, $55 for a Halloween pumpkin hat. MAGA is getting ran for their pockets. Overall, I think most manipulation tactics Trump uses is a test to see how far he can push these things before someone tries to stop him or before MAGA tries to stop him. However, they just kind of let him do whatever he wants. So if we really want to stop this madness from growing, there needs to be some more pushback. However, he has everybody in the White House completely loyal to his cause because without him, they have nothing. So they're all terrified of him. And they could all be free from Donald Trump, but they love the money and the sense of power so much that they refuse to release the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files, Donald Trump. Out of all the impeachable things Donald Trump has done, the most grotesque one is hiding in those Epstein files. Release them. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Please make sure to have a great day today. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.